7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
We're going to finish what we were working on, where we're going to try and get this going around the subframe, or the sway bar, and then this will bolt up to the actual pipe. So it'll be right there. It's going to go from the sway bar there to the pipe, and it'll hold it up in the position we want it. And then after that, we can actually cut and adjust. We'll cut the pipe down and then bring it over this way and have the turbo kind of in this spot right here, and then run the charge pipe. Then I'm going to run the oil return line, oil feed. For the oil feed and return, what I'll be doing is I'm going to tap into the oil pressure sensor, remove that, and put a tap in that to the turbo for the feed. And then for the return, it's just going to go into the dipstick towards the bottom of it, since this one drops straight down into the pan. Like I said, it's just a budget turbo setup on it, because we know this 2.2's on the way out. And then however long it lasts, when it does end up breaking or blowing up, if it does, if it doesn't, who cares? We'll be doing the V8 in the truck. So this is just for fun. So I'm going to go ahead and get this all made up how I want it, and then tacked on, and go from there. Alright guys, so I got this pipe that I cut off of the old exhaust, and kind of got like a good bend to it. So how this will go is something like this. I'll cut that pipe down right there and weld it down there, and it'll come over some how I needed it, and weld this to this and trim that down. And that's where the turbo will bolt to that right there. And then we'll build the hood exit and everything else. So that's progress. And then I was letting this cool down a little bit before I touched it. And then this will go kind of like that right there. So not too bad. It'll hold the pipe up and over where I need it. So I'm going to go ahead and get to cleaning up everything how I need it and start welding some stuff up. Alright guys, so if you see right there, I made the mark where I want to cut this pipe. So I went ahead and pulled the driver's side wheel off, pull the wheel off on this side so I can reach in there. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that one up, and then get the other one slid down on here and see the height that I need, if I need to cut the other pipe anymore, which is that pipe right there. So we can try and get it all fitted up nice and everything, and get the turbo position where I want. And I can rotate that other pipe whichever way if I need more back or forward. And this one I can move a little side to side, which I can't go too much because you don't want it to hit the pitman arm when I'm at angle or turning. So we're going to go ahead and get all this finished up, and I'll be back when it's done. Alright guys, so this is kind of roughly where the turbo would be sitting at. So maybe I'll find a different way to do it, but roughly it'll be like this. It's, a little higher and more angled, but somewhere around like right here where it'll be. And I can just run the pipe from here. Obviously this will be moved somehow out of the way. And then the charge pipe will go from here to the throttle body. And then still trying to debate how I'm going to be doing the exhaust, because we do want to do a hood exit. So I don't know, the radiator's kind of in the way. Another option I have is maybe I can get like a radiator out of like a Honda or something, get the half-size radiator, and then I can make a bracket at the bottom where I can hold it up and then run the oil lines, I mean the coolant hoses, radiator hoses. So that's an option. But I'm going to keep messing around with this here and see what I can figure out. Well everybody, The S10's got a turbo mounted on it. That's focus. Right there. So that's pretty much how it's gonna be. I just got the pipes all tacked on right now. But I'm gonna run the exhaust from here straight up out the hood, then the charge pipe from here to the throttle body, and then the oil lines and stuff. But for the most part, that's how the turbo's gonna sit on here. Gonna build a couple braces. I got one right here, and then I was gonna build another one that goes from the sway bar here to give it some sturdiness. I'm gonna actually continue this video later. I gotta go to work, so be back here when either tomorrow or when I get out, if I decide to work on it tonight. But I'm kind of excited about this. We're getting that much closer. So, and the radiator actually still fits in the truck like that. So it's tight, but it still fits. Another thing I was thinking about doing, since I'm not running AC condenser or anything anymore, I got like all that open space. Maybe we can see about dropping these brackets or notching this where the radiator sits in and leans back, you know, kind of like a V-mount setup. So I don't know, I'll figure it out. And then we got to work on building exhaust coming out and oil lines and stuff and charge pipe. But yeah, it's getting that much closer. Look at that baby sitting on there. So alright guys, well, I'll catch you guys in a little bit. Alright guys, so real quick I wanted to show you guys. I got the V8 conversion mounts. So not only is the 2.2 setup going to happen with the turbo, but we're going V8 still in it. Like I said, we're just blowing up the 2.2 with this. Then we're going to put down some power with the V8 setup. So I'm going to look at a 350 swap for tomorrow. Instead of the 327, I'm going to do a 350. So stay tuned guys, a lot's going to be happening to this truck. Alright guys, so now that I got the turbo pretty much lined up, mocked up where I want it, I'm going to go ahead and put this back on so I know how it's going to run. So I'm just going to go ahead and put one bolt on it just to hold it in place. And then put this turbo on so I know where the oil lines are going to be going. So I know how much oil lines, like how much, you know, lines I need to grab to actually bolt the turbo on and run some oil lines. And then I'll have to go somewhere and get the charge pipe, the tube that comes off it that has a blow valve on it. I have to get it either extended, shortened, or moved around in a certain way so it can match up towards my throttle body and go from there, because I think right now how it sits, it hits towards the brake lines. So I'm gonna go ahead and bolt this up real quick and we'll go from there. But look at that thing, it's so tiny. I'm putting, look, a Toyota turbo on a Honda 1JZ turbo. Alright guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get this on the car, or truck. Alright guys, so as you can see, the oil lines right here. We got the return, and then down here's the, let me see if I can get around here. That's a better view as soon as my camera focuses. Alright, so here's the feed, or the return, and then the feed. I'm gonna have to probably clock the turbo somehow, and this is gonna run to the dipstick down at the bottom. I'm gonna have a little opening on it, and then where the oil pressure sensor is, I'm gonna run a line from that to here. I would do that, and then run the charge pipe from here straight to the throttle body. And this piece here is what I'll have to modify to get to work on it, because if I go here it's that way, if I go here it's this way. So I want to see if I can take it somewhere and take this somewhere if it stays. Take that somewhere and get it cut like here and then here, and put this on it where it's straight. Not even showing it in the film. Come on, focus. There we go. Cut it here and up here somewhere, and put this where it's straight up. So therefore it has this shooting straight like this. You know, and have the blow off valve right there. And I just got to run a pipe from there to there, which shouldn't be too hard. I'll figure something out for that. But yeah, we're almost getting there. So I'm gonna run up to O'Reilly's in a little bit and get some fittings and oil lines and stuff, or fuel lines I'm gonna use to get that to work. And then try and get some metal so I can make the flange for the exhaust so we can do the hood exit. Alright guys, so I got all the fittings, the close clamps, and the lines for the S10. So we can head to the house and start doing that. Alright guys, so I got a bracket right down there welded on. Slide here, helps a little bit. Alright, so right down there I got a bracket welded on, and I'm going to put some more on there. Just this is for now. I'm going to put one on the other side. But that's pretty much where the turbo is going to be sitting. I took the jack out that was actually underneath on the pipe, holding it up right there. So that's out. So it's pretty much on its own. Pretty cool. So now I'm going to pull out the oil pressure sensor probably, and put this all on and try and start running the oil lines for it. Okay, so what I'm gonna actually do real quick is this is where do the coolant lines for the turbo, because the oil and coolant cooled. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this right in here, and then weld them shut and bolt this back onto the turbo, so that's blocked and eliminated. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut that off real quick and get that welded up. Alright guys, so went ahead and welded this up real quick. So that's blocked off now. Come on, focus. So they're not pretty, but it just needs to be blocked off. So that's that. So I can go ahead and put that on the turbo and leave it there. Alright guys, the next thing I'm going to do is remove this sensor right there. That's the oil pressure sending unit. So this, you just unclip it like that, and then you just get a big socket on there and take it out. I'm gonna remove that, and then this is gonna go in there, and that's where the feed line is gonna go to for the turbo. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that removed and put this in. Alright guys, so right there is the fitting for the feed. So that's all in. I put some Teflon on it and everything. And then here's the old oil pressure sending unit. This is probably why my gauge wasn't working, maybe. This was completely broken. I went in there and just barely put the socket on it, and it just completely fell apart, which is real common on these things. But that's on. So now we can start running an oil feed line. Alright guys, so you can see right there, I got the oil line for the feed on. It's running there, all the way through, behind the power steering pump, all the way this way, over the valve cover, down behind the alternator, and then it goes all the way down to right there, to the oil pressure sending unit where it used to be. Focus, right there. So I got a clamp just chilling right there. I gotta tighten it up. Just mocking everything up. I already cut it to length, so that's done. Now what I'm gonna do is gonna go ahead and pull the oil dipstick tube out and go ahead and drill a hole in it, put the other fitting in it, and weld that onto that, and then run my feet or my return line, and then all the oil lines and stuff would be done. So let's go ahead and get that pulled off. Alright guys, so got that all welded on. So let it cool down a little bit. I have a bucket of water over there. I dipped it in, but it's still kind of warm. I'm gonna let it cool down a lot more so it don't damage the rubber seal that's on the block where this slides into. We'll go ahead and try and run the oil return line. Alright guys, so the S10 officially has oil lines. Got the feed. Let's see if I can get the focus. Right there. Got the feed and the return. Return runs all the way through here. Wraps around. It's right there. Let's see if I can get it to zoom in down there. Right there. And like I said, the feed runs all the way that way. So all I have to do is throw a clamp there, clamps on these. Let me zoom back out. So used to the GoPro, guys. Alright. Yeah, I got to get a clamp on those two. Clamp down on that, and then a clamp on the feed. Reason why I'm not putting any on yet is because I still have to finish welding up some piping and stuff. And then put another brace on it. And we'll build the exhaust. Then I'm gonna try and get a different radiator for it, because that one's too big. Unless I, like I said, notch just like I want to and push the radiator in. So I'm gonna try that first. If that don't work like I want to, I'll put another one in it. But yeah, and then this just goes right back in here, like so. Look at that. There's oil lines on the S10, guys. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up, guys. The next video will be getting the radiator back in, the charge pipe, and just getting it all finished up and the first startup. So that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you guys liked it. Whew, it's a lot of work to turbo a vehicle, huh? Especially blow one up, but it's worth it in the end. Even especially if it don't blow up. But yeah, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the notification button, and catch you guys in the next one.